Hello, how are you? Today I brought a wonderful recipe for your lunch, for your dinner. It is super versatile. It is also very good as an afternoon snack. It's a great option for those days when you don't want to eat meat, but want a super healthy and delicious option. It's very easy to make and doesn't contain wheat flour or gluten. You're going to love it. Stay until the end. You won't want to miss it. If you love easy, quick, and healthy recipes, you will love the channel. So go ahead and subscribe. Remember to activate the bell to receive notifications. I have new videos every day. You're going to love them. Also remember to like the video if you enjoy this type of content, if you like the channel, as it helps me a lot here as well. Let's start this wonderful recipe. Remember that the ingredients, quantities, and nutritional information are always down here in the description. So the first thing I have here, which I prepared in advance so we don't waste time, is my eggplant. It's raw. I just cut it into cubes. Always keep the skin on the eggplant because it's very rich in fiber. Eggplant is a low-carb vegetable and very rich in soluble fiber, which is excellent for maintaining satiety and lowering the glycemic index of the meal. It is low in carbohydrates and very rich in fiber, so it won't raise blood sugar much. And in addition, the skin of the eggplant contains many antioxidants, making it super healthy. I have a video here on the channel talking more about the benefits of eggplant for cholesterol, health, and the heart. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. I will do the following to remove a bit of that bitterness that eggplant sometimes has and that people complain about. I will add a little salt here and wait for it to sweat. So what will happen? We are going to mix our eggplant with the salt right here in this bowl. Mix it very well so that each and every piece has a bit of salt. And then I will do the following. Look, I will show you the step-by-step here so you can repeat it. I will take the same container where the eggplant was before and put the eggplant back in here, because it will start, due to the sodium in the salt, to draw out the water, and this water that falls to the bottom will contain that bitterness from the eggplant that people don't like. This step is very simple but makes a difference. I will wait just about 10 minutes. This also changes the consistency of the eggplant, you'll see. And when it's ready, at the right consistency, I'll show you how much water came out of the eggplant and we'll continue. So look, about 10 minutes have passed and look at the amount of water that comes out of our eggplant here. So now I'm going to do the following. I'm going to saute it here in the frying pan. Let me turn it on a bit. I'll add just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to cook it here and let it simmer gently. So I'm going to carefully add our eggplant to the olive oil, and I'll gently incorporate some other seasonings, which can be the seasonings of your choice. I'm not going to add salt because there was already salt in the eggplant, so I'll add a bit of black pepper, a bit of paprika, which you know I love. And there's the matter of the benefits of paprika, which is super rich in antioxidants, vitamin A. Besides being healthy, it also gives an interesting color to the recipe. And a bit of garlic powder. If you want to use fresh garlic, you can do that too. Let's wait for this to saute, become more golden, and then we'll move on to the next part. The smell is already wonderful. Make it and you'll love it. Then I started carefully mashing with my spatula, even turning this eggplant into a puree. It's very seasoned. The smell is incredible. So I'm going to do the following here. The heat is turned off now. I don't need the heat on at this moment. I'm going to add a bit of Parmesan cheese here now. If you don't like cheese, don't use it. You can omit it without any problem. And I'm going to add the oat flour here, which will help me achieve the consistency I need. Remember that oats have more fiber than wheat flour, contain beta-glucan, which helps control cholesterol, and have protein. So it's an excellent source of carbohydrates for us to add to our diet. And as I mentioned, eggplant has very little carbohydrates, so it ends up balancing our recipe well. The heat is turned off, as I already mentioned. I'm just going to mix everything well here to make it more homogeneous, and I'll put it in a container to let it cool slightly so it's easier to handle. You'll understand soon. I'm just going to mix everything well here and put it in the container. Hold on, I'll be right back. So look, our dough is now lukewarm, more on the cooler side. I didn't put it in the fridge. I just waited for it to reach more of room temperature. I got a container here because I want to shape it like a hamburger. You can do it by hand if you want, but I think it's easier this way. It becomes more uniform. So I'm going to do the following. I'm going to take a little bit more of our dough here, and I'm going to carefully put it right over here. And I'm going to gently shape it with the spoon itself, just to cover this bottom part with precision and care. If you want to do it just like this, it works exactly right. I'm going to put some pieces of cheese here now. Look. So I will put it here. So it's to taste. If you didn't use the cheese before in the dough, you also don't need to put it here. Tell me what you are going to fill it with, or if you are not going to fill it, because some people also don't want to fill it with anything. So I'm going to take a bit more of our dough here. Now I'm going to use a spoon to help me. And then I'm going to do it like this on top, just to cover. If needed, I'll add more, but it's not even necessary. Look, it's already covered everything. And when I take it from here, I'll put it directly in the frying pan. So it will be easier because it will already have this nice shape. It will look like a hamburger, so I find it easier than doing it by hand, but if you prefer to do it by hand, there's no problem at all. I'm going to make one more here, which will yield 2, and I'll be right back so we can put this marvel in the frying pan. I'll just make this one more. Be right back. So my frying pan is greased with olive oil here, and then I'm going to place these preparations here. The frying pan is cold because I have plastic here, so I don't want to risk anything sticking here. So look, it's very easy for us to remove later. I think it's practical. Let me know if you prefer it this way or if you prefer to do it by hand, which also works. So now I'm going to carefully turn it on low heat, level it here gently, shape it a bit more, just to make it look even nicer, and cover it. It's time to flip this delight. Look at this. It even looks like a real burger. You can press it down like this. It looks even more like a burger. Make it and you'll love it. Look at how amazing this is. Look, I'm going to wait for it to finish on the other side, which is really quick now. Hold on. So now I'm going to transfer it here to this wooden board to show you better how it looks inside. Some cheese is already coming out here. Make it and you'll love it. Look, the appearance is wonderful. I'm just going to show you how it looks inside. And the consistency is perfect. Look at this. I'm going to open it here for you to see with the cheese, with everything. Look at the cheese dripping here. It's going to be a hit. I want to remind you that the cheese in this recipe is actually optional. If you're vegan, you can omit the cheese from the dough. You can even substitute it with vegan cheese or use another filling, whatever you think fits. Or just make it like this if you're not vegan. Tell me here how you're going to make it. I would love to see your comment. Remember to like the video because that's where you also help me. And share it with those who will like it, with those who need it. Let's together expand this chain of good, which is what I want with the channel. Let's taste it. The consistency is wonderful. The flavor is incredible. It's very well seasoned. Make it and you will love it. See you next time. Bye.